By the way, if you remember what Dr. Matiang'i did to this country, then you know what I'm talking about. Already in this church, we have a president.
Jango, I have heard nyinyi wote wananchi. Mwishowe, you discover that we are all one people. Shida zetu ama our challenges do not distinguish between which part of the country you come from, which tribe you belong to, where do you go to church, and so on and so forth. Ama namna gani?
Candidate yetu ya urais hapa nchini Kenya 2027 elections anaitwa Dr. Fred Matiang'i Opuig.
2027 political drama has already kicked off. Political tides in Kenya are shifting once again, and this time, all eyes are on a new configuration that could redefine the landscape ahead of the next general election. Fred Matiang'i, a man once known as the no-nonsense interior CS, is rumored to be crafting a formidable alliance with notable figures such as George Natembeya, Eugene Wamalwa, and Cleophas Malala. These developments, coupled with the ongoing maneuvers in Western Kenya and Mount Kenya, signal that Kenya's political chessboard is undergoing a radical realignment. Thank you for turning in. This is our question today. Can you elect Matiang'i as President of Kenya in 2027? Thank you for your comment. Please subscribe and like this video and turn on notifications. Guys, let's get deep.
After the COVID-19 pandemic, now the new pandemic we are dealing with is the pandemic of lies. Yeah. It's the pandemic of lies. You know, people stand up and they say things that they think make sense. You know, I've been looking at politicians, and fortunately I have the opportunity of having served in cabinet. I know how a budget is drawn, and I know how much money we have in our resources to draw a budget. When a political leader, a national leader tells people, I will put aside 150 billion for market women, I'll put aside 50 billion for boda boda, I'll put aside 100 billion for this. I know how much our budget is and the projected growth of our budget. That time you have not talked about the amount of money that you are taking to counties, you have not talked about transfers for the education sector and so on. Where are you going to get that money to provide that kind of service? You're just lying to those people because you are telling them things they want to hear.
It will be interesting to see whether he will succeed where his mentor, former Cabinet Minister Simeon Nyachae, failed in 2002. Matiang'i served as a personal assistant to Nyachae, who died in 2021, and later as the presidential campaign manager for the wealthy politician when he contested for the presidency using the Ford People Party ticket. Although Nyachae did not clinch the presidency, his party won 15 parliamentary seats. In the 2002 election, Nyachae emerged third behind Mwai Kibaki, who won, and then ruling party KANU candidate Uhuru Kenyatta. Matiang'i made a name as an assertive cabinet secretary for the 10 years he served under Uhuru, winning himself admirers and detractors in equal measure. Matiang'i. He first served in the ICT ministry in 2013, where midwives the controversial analog to digital migration. He then caused ripples in the Ministry of Education when he dealt with the menace of examination cheating.
Candidate yetu ya urais hapa nchini Kenya 2027 elections anaitwa Dr. Fred Matiang'i Opuig. Tena hatusongi nyuma. We will continue. We have decided that if you have a dysfunctional country, that institutions are not ready to share the cake equitably, then you must look for alternatives. How you will force those who are in power to share those resources with you equitably. We approaches, we will set our own political party, we will go and negotiate. We know Fred Matiang'i is going to win, but he cannot win alone. We are going to talk to everybody. We are going to talk to Kalonzo, we will talk to Gachagua, we will talk to Uhuru, we will even talk to Raila. We will tell them it is now our time, because where we are, this country requires to look for us also from the small towns. Even as who are without the numbers, we need to be given an opportunity to show what we can do.
He was moved to the powerful Interior Ministry after the 2017 general election. where he attracted criticism for the manner in which security agencies dealt with state critics and crime suspects. Uhuru also appointed him as chairperson of the National Development Implementation and Communication Cabinet Committee, a position which appeared to elevate him above the embattled then-Deputy President William Ruto. Uhuru entrusted Matiangi with the delivery of all national government programs and projects, and he reported directly to the president. In his bid to capture the presidency in the next election, Matiangi has hired the services of Montreal-based Canadian lobbying firm Dickens & Madson to help him strategize for his 2027 presidential campaigns after making a down payment of $65,000, $8.4 million, of the $250,000, $32.5 million, which was required to jumpstart the process of lobbying for international support. Gusii Parliamentary Caucus Chairman George Natembeya said the Gusii community at the moment does not have political value, despite having more than 1 million votes, since it is not united and cohesive enough to attract other Kenyans to seek partnership with them. The North Mugirango MP said that for Matiangi to make a meaningful political mark, he needs the backing of political leaders, and that he needs to engage them before making any decision, saying 2025 is crucial in shaping the political destiny of the country, and the Gusii community needs to unite. Leaders of the United Progressive Alliance, UPA party, say they are keen to shade the tag of being a Gusii region-only party and acquire a national image. The party leader, Nyamira Governor Amos Nyaribo, said the National Governing Council had made a decision that some of the party positions should be distributed to members from other parts of the country to have a national outlook. The United Progressive Alliance National Governing Council is working towards ensuring that we have 26 new party offices across the country by July this year. We are also planning to distribute some of the senior party positions to members from other parts of the country, said Nyaribo. Party Secretary General Jacob Bagaka, who is the Kisii County Assembly Deputy Speaker, said Matiangi is the only leader capable of offering alternative leadership that Kenyans are craving and should be supported by all Kenyans. UPA National Chairman Rigoma Ward MCA Nyambega Gisesa said the party will rally behind Matiangi as their presidential candidate, since he has already distinguished himself as a great servant of Kenyans in the previous positions he has held.
We have decided, we have agreed that this country is going to be one, and we are going to clean it from those people who peddle lies.
When I was minister with Matiangi, Balozi was our ambassador, na ndio tunajuana, kazi tulifanya pamoja, kazi mzuri. Hata siku hizo tulikuwa na Trump, na yeye wanajuana, na sasa amerudi. Lakini sisi sio watu wa siasa. Bwana Jango, leo sio siku ya siasa.
Cannot win an election using a party that has been killed by Malala and Kashagwa here in Kakamega. Ama nyinyi watu mmemiti hamjui. Hata ofisi ya UDA iko wapi hapa Kakamega? Iko wapi Bungoma? Iko wapi Vihiga? Iko wapi Busia? Iko wapi Chitale? So how do you win? So we have to we are going to meet next week. I'm a member of NEC. Kashagwa alichukua junior members of parliament, wakiwemo aliyekuwa senator wa Kakamega Malala, akawaleta karibu, akaweka pesa mifuko ya hawa vijana wakawacha kazi yao ilikuwa kula miraa, smoking na kunywa pombe, you know them, and then they don't work for mwananchi. The problem with President William Ruto's government is poor communication. The issues surrounding NHIF and transitioning into SHIF should not be where we are. Piloting should have been done in advance. The movement should have been, you transit with the biometrics, the ID, and blah, blah, blah of the patient in the NHIF. They should have transited them into SHIF. But when they ask people to register afresh with *147#, it starts afresh, and that's why there is this confusion. If we had moved with the NHIF cards, use that information and say everybody who is in the portal of NHIF automatically enters the portal of SHIF, then it would have been almost seamless. So the problem is not that chief is bad. The problem is the mismanagement of that chief. I've established that, yes, indeed, these two young women needed not die. They were normal deliveries, so they died in the process of operation and after operation. I want to put it on record that the death of a mother is not accepted in the profession of medicine. Anybody can die, but maternal death during delivery is not accepted by the medical profession. I have reported the matter to the Kenya Medical Practitioners and Dentist Board, and from here we are taking it to the ministry because there are clear cases of negligence. So in this hospital, over and above the death of these mothers, the hospital is completely mismanaged. Part of the mismanagement is a result of failure by the county led by somebody called Dr. Alira. So again, this is a matter that I'll want to oversight properly with Governor on Monday again, if he doesn't run away and he waits to listen to me.
Gisesa said UPA participated in an election for the very first time in 2022, winning 1 governor's seat, 1 MP, and 18 members of the County Assembly, MCA slots. He said the party is planning to rebrand to have a national outlook as it prepares to field Matiangi as its presidential candidate. I think Matiangi is a stronger candidate than Nyachae was in 2002 due to the different political times. I would like to assure you that Matiangi is going to benefit greatly from the Gen Z vote and Kenyans who consider the integrity of the leaders they elect, said Gisesa. Matiangi has maintained a low profile after police officers raided his Karen home while he was out of the country in 2022. He later presented himself before the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, after which he left the country for the United States. He was recently spotted interacting with market traders in Kitui County, after condoling with the family of his longtime bodyguard who died last year. Matiangi had not attended the funeral because the bodyguard died when the former CS was in the United States. Matiangi's appearance in public last month after a long absence elicited mixed reactions among Kenyans on social media, with calls for him to vie for the presidency in 2027. He has maintained
speeches from some of the leaders that you've mentioned. And of course, I saw what the Honorable Kamket said, and also the Honorable Oscar Sudi. The truth is that we know now that they understand that this thing, it is irreversible now. The damage that this government has done to its own reputation is irreversible. They know that there is very little that can be done between now and 2027 to reverse the fortunes of this regime. So you can see that they have become irritated, agitated. The young Kenyans on social media have succeeded in getting under their skin. If you go to a function and speaker after speaker is only talking about social media and curtailing the freedoms of the young people, lecturing us about respecting other people, and yet these are some of the vilest politicians on the mic. They themselves cannot show you the respect that they want other people to show them. So for me, it is the clearest indication, and I want Kenyans to take confidence in the strength of our constitution to defend itself. Nobody can stand somewhere and tell us they will manufacture another president for 24 years. It will not happen. Honorable Kamket should be told. It will not happen. This is not 1980. This is not the generation that they used to sell fear to. The Kenyan of today is a Kenyan who understands the constitution, their rights. They know for a fact that you cannot impose yourself on Kenyans. I am telling you, the only way for any elected leader to win re-election is to do the things you promise to do for Kenyans, is to make the lives of Kenyans better. Now that they understand that it is going to be impossible for them to deliver on any of the promises that would make Kenyans look at them favorably, they are now openly threatening to violate the constitution and the rights of Kenyans and to try and force themselves upon the people. As a person who was in the campaigns in 2022, when we were being backed by a sitting president, these are not strange pronouncements. They are very familiar, because there are people in our camp who used to speak the way Kina Kamket are speaking and telling the country, oh, hii kitu imeenda, oh, there's nothing you can do, tutanyorosha wewe, hatuwezi kuachia mwizi. But I'm telling you, with the sort of anger that Kenyans have, the day a Kenyan is given a ballot paper like this, once he crosses against your name and puts it in the ballot box, that's the end of the day. That's the end of everything. So I want to assure Kenyans that this year's stamping should not scare anybody. Just come out and express yourself. Speak, because these constitutional freedoms that we enjoy, they were very hard fought. They were fought for by blood and sweat. You know, you can see that there's a lot of nostalgia from the old Kanu hawks to go back to those days where you could just abduct someone and throw them into a prison without trial. But at least that was the law then. It was legal. There was a law that backed that detention without trial. But that law does not exist anymore. The Constitution now requires that if you arrest somebody, you have to produce them to court within 24 hours and charge them. And you have to demonstrate to the magistrate why you need to hold them in custody. The reason why they are abducting these young people is because there is no law that exists that says you cannot insult a leader. There is no law that says that you cannot insult the president. In fact, our High Court has already said that the freedom of expression extends to insults. The freedom of expression does not mean I have to be nice to you. It doesn't mean that I am forced to say things that you want to hear. Freedom of expression means I have to speak the way I see things. And instead of them addressing, why are Kenyans so angry? How did we get here? Because after the president was elected in 2022, by all accounts, William Ruto was one of the most popular politicians in the country. What did he do in the intervening period to lead to a place where he's being insulted left, right, and center? Instead of addressing those questions, the cause, they are addressing the symptoms. And I can tell you, for as long as your policies and the actions of your government continue to make life more difficult for Kenyans, for as long as you don't demonstrate respect for the people, for as long as your court jesters, the ones you are talking about, are speaking to Kenyans in the way that they are speaking to them, then nobody's going to respect you. Respect is earned. It's not something you force. You cannot force people to respect you. Respect is earned from how you conduct yourself, how you relate with people, how you demonstrate respect for the people as required under Chapter 6 of the Constitution. So unfortunately for him, he is surrounded by people who have decided that they have to tear him down. They're going to take him down. If there's anybody to be blamed for the one-term presidency of Ruto, it will be Kamket, it will be Oscar Sudi, and the likes who are surrounding him there, giving him bad advice, including my uncle Atwoli.
Mokua noted that the Gusii voted as a bloc when Nyachae ran for president, but the community has since moved on. With the probability of one candidate or political party marshalling the community to vote as a bloc being difficult at the moment, no politician has demonstrated the capacity to persuade the Gusii nation to vote as a bloc with the exit of Mzee Nyachae. His word at some stage was as good as law. However, his power base was eventually compromised when he lost the parliamentary election in 2007. No force like him has since emerged, said Mokua. He said that is why there is no single dominant political party or personality in Kisii, with a good number of elected leaders having latent presidential interests.
Mimi nikiwa nimesimama hapa leo, tuko hapa na mama ambaye mtoto wake pia alifariki, alikuwa abducted. Mama yuko hapa. Na huyo mtoto alipotea mwezi wa Oktoba na akapatikana baadaye na kwamba amekufa, na pia yeye yuko hapa siku ya leo. Nataka niulize hao viongozi wa Kenya Kwanza ama wa broad based. Nataka tumekuwa kule Bungoma, wanasema kwamba watu wanajiabduct. Na reports iko hata leo hii mama yuko hapa. Mtoto wake alishikwa, alikuwa Kenyatta University na akauliwa, alikuwa Tadia, na yuko hapa na alikuwa na watoto wawili peke yake. Na wewe uko pale kwa sababu mnalipwa pesa kuongea na kutetea serikali. Kimani Chungwa na timu yako na wakina Waluke ambao mnaongea kwa sababu wewe umeondolewa kesi ambayo ulikuwa umeiba mahindi. Sasa unaongea venye unaongea bila kuheshimu zile familia ambazo zinalia leo hii watoto wao kuwa abducted na hajulikani mahali ambapo wako. Nataka niulize kwa heshima kubwa rais wa Kenya ya kwamba sisi sio kama Uganda, sisi sio kama Rwanda ambao wamekaliwa kama chapati, wamekaliwa kama kuku. Sisi tuko na freedom of expression na lazima tu exercise hiyo, kwa sababu mimi juzi nisema sisi vijana ndio tunajua this nation belongs to us. Kenya hii ikiporwa, vijana ndio wataumia for the rest of their life. And that is why mimi wakati nisimama kura nilikuwa kijana mdogo, nilikuwa boy boy, kijana Gen Z. Na mimi hawakuniambia tuende simama kura. Wakati nilitembea humu nikaona uongozi ambao ulikuwa hauko uongozi ambao unasaidia watu jinsi mimi nilikuwa nafikiria watu wangu wanaweza saidiwa. Ndio nikaamua kusimama kura ya ubunge, na kupitia kwa neema ya Mwenyezi Mungu wamama wakaniona huruma, wakasema mtoto huyu anateseka, anafanya nini? Wakasema, wakanipatia nafasi ya kuwaongoza. Ndio nasema ya kwamba hawa vijana hawa mwenye mnawaambia wazazi wao waongeleshe ni watu wakubwa, ni watu ambao wamesoma, na ni watu ambao wanataka nchi ya Kenya iende mbele. And now we are here to announce it to the nation ya kwamba as we the young people, we are not going to stay quiet and to stay in silent. Watoto wetu, vijana wenzetu wakiendelea kuwa abducted. Na kama itakuwa hivyo, tutaanzisha revolution, tutaanza kudemonstrate, hata ile ya finance bill itakuwa mchezo. Na watafanya maneno, ichungwa ulikimbia na utakimbia sana na kuambia ndugu yako. Kando na hiyo, mimi nataka niulize mambo yetu ya SHA. Juzi mlikuja mkatoa NHIF. Hii NHIF mlitoka wamama wakuwa na complain about it. Mmetuletea mambo ya SHA. With my investigation ambayo tumefanya juzi, hata ile SHA ambayo mnasema inaenda kusaidia hatuoni, kwa sababu hiyo information is only iko tu na rais wewe ndio unajua na CS peke yake, lakini the stakeholders, the system wale hawajui ni muhindi mmepatia hiyo kuregister watu kwa SHA, na elewi system ya Kenya ya health inaenda namna gani. Na hii tunangoja iflop, alafu tutauliza tena, vijana wakimuuliza muanze ku abduct venye mnafanya. Lakini miaka imebaki, miaka 2, miaka 1.5, na watu wanarudi kwa debe. Baba ureva Ruto, utaambia nini wananchi tumewafanyia nini? Otherwise, asanteni sana. Na mimi pia nataka niulize Mheshimiwa Timo, mfanyie wananchi kazi kama county government, na mambo ingine hii tuachane nayo. Mfanyie mambo ya chama ati gavana kutembea kufungua maofisi ati ya ODM sijui nini. Hawa mama hawakuli ODM, wanataka maendeleo. Sepita Salasia muko la maendeleo na support. Mogaya
Mokwa said Matiangi will need to align individual and community interests before he can emerge as the only political force in Kisii who can serve pleasure and inflict pain in the political space. There are as many political parties associated with Kisii politicians as there are grains of sand in the Indian Ocean. This is a statement to the liberal nature of the Kisii nation and politicians' aspirations, said Mokwa. We have come to an end of this video. Thank you for watching. This is our question today. Can you elect Matiangi as President of Kenya in 2027? Thank you for your comment. Please subscribe and like this video and turn on notifications. Guys, let's meet in our next video.